Hey fellow van builders, it's Scott. Welcome back to the channel, and I am jumping in on the Fiamma 45s black awning, 13 feet long. Let's do a little bit of an unboxing here and see what we got inside. All right, there she is, stretching out in the length of the garage, just about. Let's start tearing her open. Look at that. It's like hatching an egg. I got another one. There it is. Man, that is some of the best packaging. I've got to give Fiamma credit. They've done a terrific job at keeping that thing protected. Parts package. Hand crank. Nope, more to it than that. Hand crank's in here, but there's some other parts as well. Not sure what all that is. Okay. Whew. Hey fellow van builders, it's day 2 of the Fiamma unpack, and ran into a little bit of a snag, so I'd like to show that to you. And it really comes down to how you're going to mount this Fiamma awning. Are you going to put it on the wall of the van so you put the holes through the steel? Well, that's a bit of a challenge for some types of vans, so you got to know exactly what you're doing there. Or in my case, it's a roof rack mount, and you know, when I went out and purchased, thought I bought a reasonably priced roof rack, and I think I got a good one. The challenge is the bracket that holds the awning up doesn't match up with the bracket that Fiamma sells. Let me show you. All right, here we are, North Dallas, and it's raining. It hasn't rained for, I don't know, consistently for 100 days. So, crazy. All right, here's what I'm gonna call bracket gate. This is the 80-20 setup from the roof rack manufacturer. And here's the bracket from Fiamma. Doesn't fit, but that's okay, because I can drill out those holes, right? And make sure they fit, so not a problem. I got 2 brackets like this. Part of bracket gate continues. Here's the middle bracket that Fiamma provides. That baby's not gonna work at all unless I strap it on with some bungee cord. So I need 3, if not 4, of these large size brackets when only 2 of this size comes in the kit. Not good. So I ordered just these brackets. You can get them on the internet for 75 bucks, somewhere in that range. So that's part of the challenge of having to piece this together. All right, let's talk about what comes in the parts kit from Fiamma. So here are those 3 brackets that hold that 60-pound, 13-foot awning up. This is the hardware that you would use that I'm likely not going to be able to use because I've got to customize it. These actually come along with the kit because they are, if you go through the side of your sheet metal on the van, the screws are longer, and then you can use these as kind of a beauty cap. Interesting mounting process if you're mounting it to near the roof through the sheet metal. This is kind of cool, and I think it'll work for a Sprinter van. And these are the cleats, not cleats, these are the feet that the awning legs can go into on the side of the van. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to use those. Some vans it doesn't work. I hear like Ford Transits, and some vans it just doesn't work well from a placement perspective. This is to hold up the crank handle inside the van. I don't think I'm going to use that, but I've seen some folks in videos that have actually used that and placed it in their van. And here is that crank handle. There's the hook on top that you'll just go up to the loop on the awning and start opening it and closing it just by twisting. And it's pretty clever. They give you a, crank handle here that you can crank away at. So that's nice, fashioned well in high-grade aluminum. And then they also give you this support that goes in the center of the awning. If you had a rainstorm come up, right, you can clip this in and provide support for your awning fabric and adjust it around accordingly. This expands all the way out to the length of the awning. So it's a good kit. It's a good kit for a standard placement. Mine's not standard, and so what I've ordered is this. So I'm going to get 3 more of these plus a hardware kit, which I'll end up throwing out again. And I'll have to custom drill these out in order to fit as I've showed you earlier. All right, I said that was all that was in the kit, but there is one more item here, and that's a high wind hold down. These long nails, this support, they go into the feet of the awning. And then these, you would use your own rope and you can cleat down corners or sections of the awning to manage high winds. So that's also in the kit. Sorry about that, I forgot to mention it. I went to my trusty Lowe's, and when I look at the hardware it's going to be required for me to mount to my roof rack, I've gotten these, and I'll show you up on the roof what it looks like. But there's enough clearance so that it doesn't impinge on how that needs to set up into the roof rack. And I'm going to probably put another one down here because I've got 4 holes in each of my 80/20 roof rack brackets, and I don't believe this will impinge either, and I'm going to show you how I've kind of confirmed that. All right, let me show you this. This is amazing to me. So these are the brackets. That one little lip right there, that ledge goes up underneath the awning and holds it. Now there's 2 screws back here that once you get this connected, you're going to screw those in, and that holds that bracket. But, essentially 3 of those all the way down for 60 pounds of weight. And the middle one's sort of a skinny version of it and doesn't fit the roof rack mounts either. So kind of crazy. This is how this goes in, right? Sits right here. I took the button head of this and just sliding it in here where it's going to get mounted. I still have some play, which means I got plenty of clearance in here for that button head. The other piece is, because I have 4 holes in the bracket on my 80/20 roof rack, I'd like to put this in here as well. So that pushes it out a little bit, right? But the important support piece is, can I get these 2 holes drilled out? And I still have plenty of room on the sheet metal in order to drill those out on the aluminum here. So I think that's going to work as well. Worst case scenario, if for some reason that's a conflict when I put it up, I'll have the holes punched out here and I can remove this, because it really only needs these two holes drilled in on the top. I'd kind of like to drill both in just because I like the added security of 4 bolts and screws rather than just 2. And it looks like there's plenty of room to do it. So that's my plan. Another piece of the puzzle is how to measure out exactly where it fits on your roof rack. So this is a piece of the shipping container, right? Shipping cardboard that I've cut out to the size of the rack itself. And I really recommend you do that because Fiamma's got, see where it says support? There's 3 spots on this 60-pound roof rack where it says support, right? And 1 here. And by the way, this thing feels like it's 150 pounds when you're trying to wield it and move it around, but it's manageable for 2 people. Anyway, those support locations are really important, but it has to do with where you're gonna mount those on the rack. Right on your rack brackets, they have to be moved as well in order to be positioned appropriately for those support locations. All right, I got a tape measure up here that's 13 feet 1 inch, and you can see that right there, 13 feet 1 inch, which is the length of this awning. So I find this interesting because that first support is 15 inches approximately, which would put the awning sticking out in front of the car to that 15-inch spot. So I may have to tease it back a little bit, even though the support stickers on the awning say where to put the supports. I'm gonna have to look at that. All right, gang, so I just wanted to show you once in a while, as you get a project thought out in your mind and you're prepared to go out and do the install, this is just sort of the realities of van building, right? I would have loved, very excited to receive the Fiamma awning and ready to bolt it up with a little bit of help. You need 2 pairs of hands. But I ran into this challenge with the design and construction of my roof rack. And so that's where I want to caution everybody who's looking to do this project. The work itself is really not that challenging, right? The challenge is ordering appropriately. So I ordered a roof rack a long time ago, and on the website it says accommodates any awning, right? But when you get down to it, I got a Fiamma awning, which is an industry leader in the awning world, and the brackets don't fit the awning or the roof rack that said accommodates any awning. So it's just the realities of what you run into from time to time. And for me today, I'm going to shift to a different project because I got a couple things that are challenging me as well. I got to think my way through. You know, the Ikea bed hack that has really been exciting for me and is a really inexpensive way to mount the bed to the L-track. It's creaking a little bit more than I want it to. And so I'm going to mess around with an approach to maybe quiet it down. And if I can't quiet it down, I'm gonna rip it out and go to a 80-20 setup that doesn't have that sort of that occasional creak and movement when I drive over a bump, because I've put about 3,500 miles, more than that, with this bed mounted inside, and to just get a sense for how that's going to feel and whether or not I'm going to be happy with it. And I'm to the point now where those occasional creaks and groans of the metal moving around is annoying me. So I got some rubber trim. I'm looking at purchasing today some rubber spray. I'm gonna mess with that, and if it doesn't get to the point I want it to be, as I said, I'm gonna take it out and move to an 80-20 construction method for that rear fixed bed. So a couple of projects that are sort of starts and stops and not quite done, and it's just the world of van life that I think those of us who are in these build projects find ourselves in. So I did want to say thanks for joining me today. This was a quick one. There will be a successful completion of this Fiamma installation. But hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of this, learning about what's in the kit when you open up the Fiamma awning and sort of the thinking that has to go through the mounting process. So please hit that subscribe button, and any comments you may have, any recommendations, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section, and keep on building those vans. Be good. Bye-bye.